Good evening, everyone. I, Dr. Papri Das, School of IT, Auro University, welcome you on behalf of Sri Aurobindo Integral Life Center for the session on Path of Harmony. We had an interaction with Sri Arul Devji on 4th of December 2020 on Path of Light. Then Path of Force on the 12th of December to understand the path of inner and outer evolution. In continuation of the same topic, we are going to have an interaction today with Arul Devji on Path of Harmony. Sri Arul Devji is an author, radiant, universal leader coach, and integral educator. He has been in the field of leadership, education, and human resource consulting for the last 24 years. He is an engineer from BITS Pilani and he founded People First Consultants, a human resources consultancy in Chennai, India in 1995, where he plays the role of founder CEO. I request you all to join the session and ask questions so that we can get more out of him. Shri Arulji, over to you, sir.
Okay, so thank you so much. So contrary to the light and force where I just shared today, I will use a little bit of a Word document that I've prepared for two reasons. One is this harmony is also my weakest point in terms of how I live it in my life. But from the beginning of this year, the resonance to harmony has been growing enormously high. Like in the beginning of this year, I was doing a workshop, a 10-day workshop that my guide, Dr. Vandana, was organizing near Auroville. So it was like 5 weekends. So we used to learn to relate to flowers. And one of the flowers that really appealed to me was the harmony flower. So we used to test connection with flowers, and then we used to make essences, connect to essences. It's the harmony flower that somewhat was speaking the most. In fact, at that point of time, I just finished my second book. So obviously the next thought was, okay, what do I do? And I was even looking at whether I should explore purely on harmony. So that is a background. Now, I was telling Kiran also sometime before that this exploration into light force, harmony, and one thing more which I'm not bringing here is substance. The most material substance is something that I've been doing for a good part of this year. This whole exploration has heightened the understanding, and that is what I'm going to share. First, a few beginning points, and then I'll share the Word document. We will read a few things. We will do a lot of exercises. I've written down quite a bit of exercises, knowing that we will not have the time for that. Wherever there is time, we'll do a little bit of exercises and we'll explore. The first beautiful description of our harmony that I was having when I was exploring Mother's agenda was she was describing that when harmony visits, it's as if she's speaking about harmony as a presence. So it's one of the presences. It's one of the qualities of the divinity. When harmony visits, everything falls in place. Miraculously, everything is falling in place. And when harmony recedes, for whatever reason, when the grace recedes, things are exactly the same and everything falls apart. But this is a very beautiful description or a introduction to harmony, in my view. It's not so much that it's the mental order that we are really referring to. You can sit with the mind and try to bring harmony and order. That is harmony and order born from the mind. But what we're exploring is something beyond the parts of being. Parts of being is the mind, emotion, energy, senses, body. But what we are studying here or exploring here briefly is beyond any of that. Light is beyond everything and light is within everything. Force is beyond everything, force is within everything. Same as with harmony. So with that, let us begin. And let me share my screen. So I'm going to begin with the Hope you can see. I think I have kept it at a size which is visible. Oh, I'll even make it better. Yeah, okay. So I'll read this. I got this only today. So yesterday, last 4 5 days, I'm messaging people. Hey, I'm working on this harmony. Something is not falling in place. Can you guide me? Even yesterday, I was asking some people, and today I got this quote, which is very very interesting. I have marked some violet colors for us to keep it in mind. The only way to make life perfect, these are mother's words, the only way to make life perfect, I mean life on earth, of course, is to look at it from a sufficient height to see it in its totality. So, this is the first clue I'm picking. See, disharmony is something we're all very familiar, whether it is family or work. And today I find that the more spiritual community, then this disharmony also is quite high. So it's got nothing to do with what we are doing. So if we bring our attention to disharmony present within ourselves or in the family or collectives, let's try and see if we can get some clues for sadhana from this exploration of harmony. The first clue I get here is we should see everything in its totality for harmony to be in. Normally, what happens is when something is disharmonious, we shut our eyes. It's too loud, we shut ourselves, we withdraw, we cut away from. While that is a temporary solution, it may not take us into the path of harmony. But she's giving another clue, sufficient height, which means not entangled. See, we cut away from some disharmony because there's a lot of entanglement. It's too much to bear. So we cut away. Here she's saying sufficient height, sufficient height. And if those of you who are familiar with mother was living with the connection to the consciousness above the head. Sufficient height to see in its totality. Not only its present totality, but over the whole past, present, and future. We'll try and do two exercises today on past, present, and future. What it has been, what it is, what it must be. You must be able to see it all at once. This is the first clue she's giving for us on the path of harmony. Can we learn to see everything with a certain height, which means non-entangled, with a certain neutrality and totality? First of all our past, all our present, all our future formations, and the entire set of relationships or whatever is going on in our family and personal work front. That seems to be the first clue I get in this exploration of path of harmony. You must be able to see it all at once because that's the only way to put everything in its place. When everything is in its place, it is harmony. So one of the ways to experientially understand harmony is everything in its right place. There was another exploration mother had made about the term hierarchy. I've not brought it here, but I just recollected, so I share. Hierarchy is very interesting from a spiritual perspective, what mother was sharing in one of the quotes that I read. Normally, we take hierarchy as, Arul is so many years old, so we'll call him G, or somebody is the head of the organization, so we'll call him, whatever. Normally, hierarchy is taken from a seniority perspective or a role perspective or a designation perspective. But she says hierarchy is the one who is closest to the core. What is core here? You can take the core as divine, or you can take the core as light. You can take the core as force. You can take the core as harmony. You can take it as beauty. You can take the core as, when it comes to this hierarchy is from a spiritual angle. From a spiritual angle, obviously it's an exploration of how we can connect to divine qualities in the normal day-to-day living. So the one who is closest to the core, which means closest to connecting to the divine qualities, he or she is hierarchically advanced. That's a beautiful description. And that's again what, and she says everything then is looked at in relationship to that hierarchical thing. The one who is closest occupies a more central role, or he or she is a more fit instrument in that sense of it. So now when we go back here, because that's the only way to put everything in its place. When everything is in place with reference to whatever we call it as a referral point, then there is harmony. Nothing can be done away with, nothing should be done away with, but each thing must find its own place in total harmony with the rest. Very difficult. Even to do it with our own parts of being, even to do it with our own memory field is difficult. We will do the memory field 2 short exercises today, and we'll also learn how to do it with the others, whatever this brief time that we have. But this seems to be the ask. Very, very interesting. Nothing can be done away with, nothing should be done away with, but each thing must find its own place in total harmony with the rest. Okay, now we'll read a couple of then all those things that appear to be evil, so reprehensible and unacceptable to the Puritan mind, would become moments of joy and freedom in a totally divine life. And then nothing could stop us from knowing, understanding, feeling, and living this wonderful laughter of the divine. Harmony appears to be the laughter of the divine. This is the big clue I got today, just I think before lunch or after lunch, and I was very happy, So and then nothing would stop us from knowing, understanding, feeling, and living this wonderful laughter of the Supreme, who takes infinite delight in watching himself live infinitely. Harmony is linked with beauty. Harmony has a link with delight. Harmony has a link with the laughter of the Supreme. That's quite high, but yes. This delight, this wonderful laughter, which dissolves all shadows, all pains, all suffering. If you remember on day 1, I spoke about when we explored light, the path of suffering are the path of sunlit path. And Mother makes this distinction saying that it is a choice that we take. Now, majority of the world takes the path of suffering, which means you suffer to become well. But here she says that when one is reaching, when one is open to the delight, the laughter of the divine, so to say, all shadows, all pain, all suffering dissolve. You only have to go deep enough. But now, where do you find this? There have been several references to this. Here is one. Where I've given a quote, but I'll make some other references which Sri Aurobindo has pointed out. We only have to go deep enough into ourselves to find the inner sun and let ourselves to bathe and let ourselves be bathed in it. Then everything is but a cascade of harmonious, luminous, sun-filled laughter, which leaves no room for shadow and pain. Shadow means when people refer to the shadow self, it is the untransformed part of ourselves which we are not aware. Okay. In fact, even the greatest difficulty, even the greatest grief, even the greatest physical pain, if you can look at them from there, which means in connection with that laughter, take your stand there, from that inner point or above the head also. I'll refer to that in a moment. You see the unreality of the difficulty, the unreality of the grief, the unreality of the pain, and all becomes a joyful and luminous vibration. This is ultimately the most powerful means of dissolving difficulties, overcoming grief and getting rid of pain. The first two, difficulties and grief, are relatively easy. The last, pain, is more difficult because of our habit of regarding the body and its sensations as extremely concrete and positive. But actually, it is the same thing. It's just that we haven't been taught and accustomed to seeing our body as something fluid, plastic, uncertain, malleable. For those who need an introduction, Mother in her agenda is really talking about her work she was doing in the body cells. We haven't learned to permeate it with this luminous laughter, which dissolves all shadows and difficulties, all discords, all disharmony, all that grades, cries, and weeps. Okay, now, so we'll just, there are one or two other quotes here, the same thing. Now, before I go there, what have we seen so far? Path of harmony seems to come from looking at everything in its totality, without blocking anything, without shutting our eyes from something, but yet not entangled from a certain height. She's referring to getting in touch with the delight, getting in touch with the laughter of the Supreme, where somewhere within. It could be in the cave of the heart. Sri Aurobindo, when I was also searching for harmony, he was referring to in the Records of the Yoga, Volume 2, a few references where connect to delight above the head. Okay, that is also there. Also from the traditional systems, when you connect to, the sole of the feet, there is also a joy and delight there. So there is delight everywhere in one sense of it. So we have to find our own journeys. Couple of quotes before I ask if there is any question. Um, this sun, the sun of divine laughter, is the core of everything. It is the truth of everything. What is needed is to learn to see it, feel it, and live it. She's referring to the sun of divine laughter being at the core of everything. Most probably, she's referring to the cells of her body. Now, for those who are familiar with Sri Aurobindo's work, he was also saying that the delight of existence, the purpose of existence is the delight. Okay, and in one of the books, he would have explained the problem of existence, the solution of existence, and he would have brought the aspect of delight. So somewhere both are referring to delight, and delight and harmony are very, very linked, as we have been seeing now. Few more points here. And for that, let us flee from those who take life seriously. They are the most boring people on earth. All these people who take life too seriously. Okay, that's all. But it's true. The other day I was telling you about some cellular difficulties. Cellular difficulties means she was working on the body. The cells of the body are having difficulties. Many of us are not even aware of our body. Then obviously we can't be aware of the cells of the body, but she was minutely that much aware. I noticed that as soon as they start the cellular difficulties, I start laughing. It's an inner voice. But if someone is there and I tell them the difficulty solemnly, very seriously, that I have this difficulty, it goes from bad to worse. If I start laughing and talk about it laughingly, it vanishes. Really, it's dreadful to take life seriously. Dreadful. Those who have given me the most difficulties have always been the people who take life seriously. Okay, this is very good news for us in one way of speaking. Okay, I've had this experience even just recently. All that comes to me from people who have dedicated their lives to spiritual life. People who do a yoga in the traditional way, who are very solemn, who see adversaries everywhere, obstacles everywhere, taboos everywhere, prohibitions everywhere, do this, don't do this kind of a thing. Oh, how they complicate life and how far they are from the divine. I saw this the other day with someone with that kind of people. You should not do this, should not do that, should not. At such and such a time, you must do this. Oh, such and such a day, you must not do that. You should not eat this, you should not. And then, for heaven's sake, don't go mixing your daily life with your sacred life. That's how you dig an abyss. I think it's the last quote, yeah. It's the exact opposite of how I feel now. No matter what happens, something wrong in the body, something wrong with people, which means somebody in your family circuit, somebody in the work circuit, something wrong in circumstances, your work relationships, your family relationships. Instantly, the first moment, oh my sweet Lord, my beloved, and I laugh, which means she's connecting. Oh my sweet Lord, my beloved, and I laugh, and then all is well. I did that the other day. It's spontaneous and instantaneous. It isn't thought out or willed or planned. None of it. It just happens. It happened the other day. I don't recall the details, but it was over a circumstance that hardly seemed sacred. I saw myself and I started laughing. I said, but look, I don't need to be serious. I don't need to be solemn. Okay, so I pause here. Anything you want to ask, anything you want to add, anything you want to share? It's better if we interact, otherwise I feel I'm talking to myself. Is there anything you want to add, share, pitch in?
So, Arulji,
Ah.
actually, I think I'm a student. So, honestly speaking, when you started, I realized that I don't have any clue. Because what I read on harmony was, very simplistic way of getting that everything should be, what do you say, uh, harmonize or put in things where it does not become obstacle for each other.
Correct.
One. Second thing, that was when before you started, I shared one thing that without harmony, I don't think there can be a path of light or path of force I can reach. So this is general statement kind, a kind of feeling came into my mind, and or something came into my, tongue, and I just talked. And then when I'm reading with you, I feel that this is totally different. I think I need real good time to understand uh, each and every, though it gives very different, what do you
Yeah.
say, it opens up lots of uh, doors to get into.
Yeah.
But what you talked about, like core, when you talk about, whether it is beauty or delight or
Mm.
supreme, laugh of light, sorry, where mother talk,
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
yeah. So that gives me hint, that gives me idea,
Ah.
experience actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be doing a few exercises on that today. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Around
I
that.
hope I'm not, confusing or.
No, no, no. By the way, I've been exploring harmony for about 12 years now. This quote I only got today. So it has taken me 12 years to, such a slow learner. But this one is amazing. Huh? This quote
Yeah,
is amazing. I sent it to two people who I
yeah,
really respect.
yeah.
And both of them responded saying that this is the way to lead life. If you can live life like this, it is going to be amazing.
Right.
I had to verify, before. Of course, I knew it, but I sent it to two people, and both responded like this. Today only, it all happened today. If you can live life like this, we will tease it out slowly, through exercises. Yeah,
Yes, I think we need help. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We all need help. Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else? If not, I carry on. Yeah, okay. So now we are going to see links. How do we live it? How do we live it? And I am being very honest. I don't know. This is my weakest point, and I also need to learn a lot about harmony in my own personal life. With myself, in my work. In what I want to manifest. Harmony of myself with the world. There are portions of the world that I'm scared of. So then obviously there is no harmony. I'm shutting away from certain aspects of the world. Obviously there's no harmony. I'm not able to see it in its totality. So I'm also taking it as a sadhana. So do consider it like that. Now let's explore it from an angle of harmony and essence. Now I did this briefly. I've been doing this briefly from the exploration of light and force, and this also. So, whoever is on this call, from now, I'll be doing a few exercises. If you don't mind, just participate in the exercise. Like if you sit and listen, there'll be no use. Just participate. If you get something, you get something. If not, so be it. So, the essence is something that you resonate to. The essence can be a purpose, it can be a value, or it can be a quality. So I want you to just pick off one essence with which we can do a few exercises. It can be anything. Say you resonate to beauty, take that as the essence. Say you resonate to joy, take that as the essence. Say you resonate to strength, take that as an essence. Or say you resonate to dance. Okay, now dance is a form. I brought this distinction when we were exploring life. Dance is a form. What do you resonate in dance? It could be movement. Okay, take the essence as movement. It could be the creativity. Okay, take the essence as creativity. So I want everybody to just pick one essence with which we can do a few practices today. Now, harmony and delight seem to be linked. Okay, from wherever, whichever angle I'm exploring, harmony and delight seem to be linked. Now, those of you who are familiar with Matra Mandir, the center of Matra Mandir, and then you have four entrances, and you have the four divine presences. And harmony is one of the four soul forces. Sri Aurobindo used the word harmony, I think, to take it to the normal people. He is also referred to as a Mahalakshmi. There's so much of beauty, there's so much of delight, there's so much of interchange in that property and quality. Okay, so harmony and delight seem intertwined. For us as simple human beings, leading very simple lives with all our ups and downs, one of the qualities we can take is joyful enthusiasm, joyful participation in something. Now, where does this come from? A joyful participation. It's when you are resonant towards something. Let's say you're doing a particular work and it's resonating to you, joyfully resonating to you. That's the essence. So the essence can be the essence of a work, can be a quality of you, or something that you resonate universally. I want you to take one of that for us to do the exercises. Okay. Any questions on that? On essence? Kiran, it's clear, no? Because I've done that. It's clear what I'm saying on essence, no?
Yeah, I think even last time I brought this point,
Correct.
and what we are for example, I can share so
Yes.
that it will bring more clarity if by
Yes.
chance some people are new.
Yes.
So let's say, for example, when you say resonance, and I will also get clarity. So,
Yes.
for example, when you talk about resonance or essence, you talked about like purpose, value, or
Mm.
quality,
Mm.
and I resonate with like empathy.
Okay.
Is it right?
Yeah, empathy is a part of being. So empathy will come from the emotional part of being.
Right,
Now, the depth of it, so when you take anything, go to the universal depth of it. The universal depth of empathy is love,
right.
is compassion. So when we take something that we resonate to, thanks Kiran for this thing,
Huh.
you take it to its most universal dimension, then it goes beyond your part of being and it goes to the essence, which is both individual, universal, and divine. So love,
Fine.
compassion. So when we come to the essence point, you will find it present both in individual human beings, in the universe, and the divine. So that will indicate to you that you're hitting at the essence frequency.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Okay, so thanks for the thing. So the essence for Kiran is love and compassion. Clear?
Right, right.
Okay. Like that, each one of you pick something and remember to take it to its universal dimension. Okay, I move forward. Now, this is the second clue. The first clue, and I will do some exercises on that soon, which is like you see everything in its totality, but you're not entangled. And there is divine laughter, which typically means you're okay with everything. But at the same time, there is a space for aspiration, which is where light and will come in. Agni, Agni is wanting to progress. Agni has two components, light and force. Now, harmony comes, and the first description she's saying is that everything, let it be in its place. Now, when you look at everything in its place, it is not a static thing. That is why I use another word for this path of harmony. It is the path of flow. Okay, and I'll explain this in a moment. Okay, why I'm referring it to also as the path of flow. But before that, just as we saw the definition of hierarchy, it's not definition, I'm sorry, but the description of hierarchy as Mother described. Another way of looking at harmony is the degree of closeness sitting near. It's a degree of closeness of being one with one's primary reference point center, which is the essence we are talking about. Now, your primary reference point or center can be essence or can be the divine themselves. Many people live life with the center of their life as Sri Aurobindo, as Mother, and I've seen several people like that. Genuinely, not naam ke vaste, but genuinely I've seen people living life like that. That can be the center. Mother or Sri Aurobindo, they feel them. They feel their presence can be the center. Or center can be the essence. When you take the essence as the center, it is living. But for many of the people, the center is a principle. Then it comes mental. For many of the people, the center can be a goal. Now we have come to the parts of being. Parts of being has goals, to take care of its needs. So you can take the referral point as anything. The best are divine directly or the essence. When you take the divine or the essence as your center, slowly your molding and evolution becomes more and more and more and more. So the degree of closeness of being one with your own center, which is either the divine or the essence, is the degree of harmony. So if I take example of Kiran, who just said love and compassion. Now, love and compassion is an experience. It's a frequency. The closer she is to it, she means her mind, her emotion, her senses, her energy, her body. The more all these are closer to that frequency of love and compassion, for example, there is harmony. Is this clearer now?
Yeah, it's good. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. It becomes very interesting, or rather, it becomes very intimate. You take the center as either the divine or the essence, and you're looking at how close I am, or you're aspiring to become close. We are on the path of harmony. This is one way of looking at it. Okay. When the divine or essence fills your center, there is a harmony and joy. Now, what I shared in the beginning. When harmony graces us in whatever form that we have explored, things fall in place almost magically. But when harmony withdraws, everything falls out of place. Okay, now I want to connect this with flow. The domain of harmony is also the domain of interchange. If you trace back Sri Aurobido's writings in about the description of the four soul forces, his description of Mahalakshmi, the soul type of Mahalakshmi, his description of the soul type of harmony, there's a lot of interchange. There's a lot of interchange. What kind of interchange? Now, when we do business, for example, there is interchange. Many of the interchanges are transactional. You give me a product, I'll give you X amount of rupees. Tata, bye-bye, goodbye. If there's a problem, I come to you. If not, tata, bye-bye. So most of it is a transactional relationship, but yet there is an interchange. Here we are really talking about, this is the domain of interchange where something increases, something gets enhanced. Now, at the individual and collective level is the resonance, connect, living, being with, near the central essence. Is it increasing? Are we more closer to the essence? Are we more closer to the divine quality? Is it increasing? Is it flowing? Is one of the aspects of interchange. So, for example, if we are interchanging, if we are interacting with each other, where we rub each other the wrong way, let us say one is centered, the other person comes and shouts, then this person who is centered also loses their poise. There is disharmony. Now, what has happened is both people are pulled away from their essences. There is discord. Okay. Now, the opposite is true. Is there in interactions, take simple interactions between spouses, between friends, between work colleagues, between guides, or whatever. If there is an increase of, living of the essence, mutual living of essence, for example, then that is increase of the interchange of harmony, so to say. Now, if that happens, even internally, forget even about others, internally, if we can sit near our own essence, who is sitting near the essence? Our mind, our emotion. See, this is sometimes very difficult. See, for example, today, from morning 9:30 till 3:30, I was preparing only for this today. I was really into it. Then at about 3:20 or 3:30, I finished my preparation. I was going to the restroom. When I was really on this, my mind was very quiet. When I finished it and I go to the restroom, it started worrying a little bit, thinking about something. And I caught myself and said, look, you have begun the monkey business once again. So far you were very quiet. Now monkey business has happened. So the mind now is away from the essence. But when I was doing it, the mind was occupied. Everything was quiet, was silent. Things were falling in place. I suddenly got this quote. Okay, everything was falling in place. And then right after many hours of such a state, I go and out of essence, disharmony. Mind goes loose into somewhere. So even within ourselves, if we can do a sadhana once in a while, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, whenever we are free, whenever we remember to connect back to the essence, to be sitting near the essence in our mind, emotion, body, etc., then these happen. These are very high. These two, what we are going to read, are very high, though it seems very simple, but they are very high, but they could happen. Now, this facilitates the presence of harmony. When harmony is present, inner force, which means our inner force, our inner light and force, we have an aspiration, we are doing something, it meets with the minimum of obstacles, both within ourselves and outside. It just flows. That's why I've used the word flow also to represent harmony. Things get molded. What are the things? People, circumstances, projects, work, products, services, institutions. They get molded by the action of our aspired light and force, but it is very high. They fall like that for a few moments. And that is the old saying that goes one step forward, two steps backward. One steps forward, two steps backward is the story of most of our lives. Harmony, disharmony, disharmony, harmony, harmony, disharmony. This is how we lead. But the aspiration to keep connecting to the essence, resonant essence, is on the path of harmony. So this is what I'll finish these two and then I'll take any questions. This is what is often called as flow state. When you are, see, even today science has gotten very curious about flow state. Sports has got curious about flow state. Many researches are being done how you get into flow state. This exactly is a flow state. The inner and the outer kind of meet and things start, flowing smoothly. Now, another way of looking at flow is harmony itself is flow, where it put things in its right place through dynamic movements. So when we talk about harmony, everything in its place, it's not static. It constantly shifts around. Even in organizations, when there is harmony, the people are shifting around naturally. Suddenly somebody comes, they say something, they do something, and then something happens, they're a little busy. Somebody comes and they take it to the next level. When there is harmony, that is how it functions. When there is disharmony, what will happen? Somebody comes, they do something, they go, they're busy. Somebody comes and adds something beautiful. Then this person comes and undoes the whole thing. No, this is not what I said. This is different. Disharmony. The whole thing now gets muddled, knots. Once it gets knotted, it takes a lot of time to unravel it. So this is the harmony and flow. Any questions, any thoughts before we move to exercises?
I'm waiting that if somebody can ask the question,
Yes,
and then I'll.
Dr. Anshu has raised her hand.
Yes,
please allow her.
Hi. Yeah, Anshu, hi. I'm not going to call you Dr. Anshu ji and all that. So Anshu, hi. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, not an issue, Arul ji.
Why don't you call me Arul in reverse? Tell me yes, please. Yeah.
The thing is that actually when we talk about harmony, what I wanted to know is, so this is basically a situation where whatever happens around us, inside me, but still we are balanced. Doesn't matter whether we are happy, whether we are in sorrow, or we have some issues. So just I wanted to confirm that have I understood the word harmony correctly or not?
Yeah. See, balance is, I would say, one part of it. See, what is being spoken about is extraordinarily high, in one sense of it. It is extraordinarily high. Let's be very simple. So, the pointers, what are being said is be aware of everything in its totality inside us, which includes our memory field. We are going to do 2 short exercises on memory field. Be aware of the totality of, say for example, in the institution, something goes well, something doesn't go well. We are also pained with what is not going well, that we shut ourselves away from it one way or the other, or otherwise we think of it and get entangled. Neither. She's saying stay far and wide and high, but look at it all in totality. Now, the other clue I've brought in is with essence. So which means sit near a quality that you resonate. Your quality could be light, or your quality could be freedom. Let's take freedom. Let's say your quality that you resonate is freedom. You sit very close to that quality and be that quality without shutting away in all that situation. Go closer and closer and closer to it within yourself. Okay. Now, by the very aspect that you're going closer and closer to your own core resonating essence, and you're holding everything in a vast total neutrality, by itself things fall in place. So this is the difficult part of this. We are all trained to do something very quickly to make things fall in place. So we should do that. The mental effort should be there. Emotional effort should be there. However, we also need to learn to wait to things, for things to fall in place harmoniously. When there is harmony, which is actually the descent of grace, which is actually the descent of divine, something happens and there is this flow state. Things flow, they start flowing. So what is hinted here, even when I'm relating, what is balance? If I put it back to what you're sharing, what is balance here is that when we are relating to others, we also relate to harmony as a presence. Like in the Christian tradition, when we get married, there is this whole thing of you are a man and a woman, and in the center of you is Christ. This is the actual tradition of Christianity. So they actually talk about a third element being present in between the man and the woman, which is the Holy Spirit, or which is the Christ. The Christ consciousness. Same thing if we bring it here. What is balance is you aspire for that beauty. You aspire for that harmony. You aspire for that totalness. Okay. And by that, by itself, there will be a certain corresponding balance that would come in. Is that clearer, Anshu?
Yes, it's very much clear. I think I was very close and near to understanding what harmony means actually.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. Anybody else before I move forward? Okay. You sure? Don't worry about being foolish and all that. All of us are foolish in this exploration. None of us know any of this. We are only aspiring to do our sadhana. Anybody?
Arul, without me, so it is not possible.
Yeah, I am happy. Come on, yeah.
So now I'm seeing two things here. Harmony with self. I don't know. Please don't mind my words. And then stay close to the essence and rise above. What mother used the word. I forgot the word because I've not written. No. So that makes sense. I'm trying to understand still. But when you are with that, though it's still I'm absorbing the idea. But when you are working together, so I can put it like that individual consciousness, and then there is a collective consciousness.
Correct.
How it can go, and then you brought flow also. So I am trying to connect that how it goes, together.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll talk about the collective, but first let's talk about flowers. It will be easier to then talk about the collective. See, human beings are more complicated. Let's talk about flowers, then we'll come to human beings. Okay.
Right.
So I'm sharing a personal. How can you get to know that we are losing harmony? That is the easiest thing to know. So I'll answer this question from Sonal. When you're losing harmony, there is discord. There is irritation, there is tension, things don't fall in place either inside or outside. When there is harmony, things fall in place by itself. It will be, by the way, when there is harmony, even with limitations and defects, things fall in place. So I'll give you a short example. Now we are on 3 stories. Kiran has asked a question. Sonal has asked a question. I'm now going on a story. I'll put it all back. Very interesting. I had an experience 2-3 days back. I am guiding somebody. Sometimes I work with corporates. I'm guiding somebody on their own. So they have their own, what they call competencies this is a supervisor. He has some competencies. I was guiding him. So when I was guiding him, this guy had got some feedback from his own team members. And I'm cutting a long story short. I said, look, it appears you're controlling. Okay. He didn't say anything. Then again, he himself said, look, lots of feedback has come now. Tell me what I should do. I said, look, in between I asked him, do you have fear? He said, no, I have no fear. No fear at all. Anybody who says like that, then all of us have fear. I said, okay. I kept quiet. Then when he was genuinely asking, I said, look, see, by the way, when it was on Zoom, and on his end, I could hear a lot of wind. He was in his hometown. I said, look, it appears you are guarded. I said guarded, okay? And I explained that 2 minutes. He kept quiet for 2 minutes, for a minute, and then he said, Arul, you're right. My true nature is being a guardian. And then he explained the archetypal role of guardian. My word was wrongly heard by him, and suddenly he was describing his essence. his essence was to be a guardian, to take care of the people, etc., etc. So he was actually playing that role. The control, etc., the limiting behaviors were coming from an inner essence of the archetypal role of guardian. Very interestingly, I did not know any of that. I used the word guarded as a limitation. It landed that side, and off the blue, he said guardian. And the next 10 minutes was an extraordinary conversation on essence. How did it happen? Because the entire year of this year, I'm exploring essence. All the time, I'm exploring essence. Because for a few groups I'm teaching that, I have to understand it more. So my being itself is getting closer to that. I said something else, he got that. That is harmony. Even when we do something stupid, or even when we are coming from our weak points, when something is falling place, harmony is in our presence. See, I want us to come to this relationship of harmony as a devotion. It is not so much about putting a formula to have harmony. It is not so much of putting, I do this, harmony will come. It is totally foolish from the human part. We can only control work and processes to some extent like that. When it comes to harmony, it is a devotion to harmony. So, presence of harmony, things will fall in place. When losing harmony, I'll tell you, you will be doing everything correct. Your inner poise will be correct. Your skills will be correct, but everything will fall out of place. Harmony is not there. All of us have this experience. So, which means you are doing something, but you're not close to the presence of something. You're not close to that essence of something.
Beautiful.
Harmony is not there. It's as simple as this. Okay. Now, thank you. Yeah. Now, to Kiran's question. So, Kiran, this is a personal example. Okay. Now, in the beginning of this year, when I went to Dr. Vandana's healing center, we were all sitting on the floor. We were supposed to, she didn't tell us what it was. Okay. She said, look, I have prepared an essence of some flower. You all just take it and sit with it for half an hour. So I took that essence, and in 5 minutes, I could not sit in that place. There was another flower which had fallen on the ground, which was pink in color. I was feeling like, go take it, go take it. So I was like sitting. Then I said, forget it. Whatever they think is fine. I said, excuse me. I went out. I collected all those flowers, small pink flowers. I kept it on my, chest or whatever. And I connected to the essence of the water and the flower for half an hour. When it came to sharing, I started sharing that, look, I couldn't do this. I had to do this. She started laughing. The essence is of that flower only. She said, okay. So now, when I was connecting to that essence and that flower, I had an extraordinary experience that I was connected to all the plants and flowers in that space. That is harmony. Harmony means that you are connected. You are connected, but not tangled. You're unentangled. The next day morning, I had a very interesting thing. I was staying in a seaside guest house in Pondicherry. And morning, I took a walk. I don't know if you have seen, I don't know what is its real name. Mother calls it supramental action. If you search in Blossom Like a Flower for supramental action, you will see an amazing flower. Somewhere in one of those streets, I saw that flower on the ground. I was so happy. This was at 5:30. Full flower was on the ground. You can't pluck it. It's a tree. I picked the flower. I did my entire walking with that flower. I came and then left it on the table because somebody was coming to meet me. I sometimes do one-to-one. Somebody was coming to meet me. So I kept it there. I took a shower. The person didn't come. So I went down. Then I got some other flower. I don't remember what it is. That flower I brought in. When I entered the room, there was a different quality in this flower because this flower was connecting to that flower. This is harmony. Everything is connecting. Everything is interacting. Everything is talking. When there is harmony, everything is allowed to be itself. When there is disharmony, we are suppressing into each other. I am pushing into Kiran's territory. Kiran pushes into my territory. Disharmony. When there is harmony, I allow Kiran to be who she is. I allow me to be who she is. There's somewhat a complement that happens. Things get enhanced. This is how it happens in a collective also. Unfortunately, we don't have many experiences like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this is how it is. Is this clear?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Arul.
Okay. So we are at 4:50, which is like about 40 minutes more. We'll do a bunch of exercises, okay? The first exercise is like this. If there's a doubt, you ask or put it on chat. I've been doing work on my memory field for close to 18, 20 years now. 18, 20 years, because I felt it was important. Mother also talks about it in the agenda that it is important. Last 2 years, I've been doing a lot of breath work, watching the natural breath. This year beginning, I got an idea and then I explored, and then we have been exploring it in small groups. It's working extraordinarily well. So the exercise goes like this. Be in your natural breath. We'll do it for 5 minutes. Be in your natural breath, which means we have done this before. Just to remind you, you will just close your eyes and watch your breath as it is this moment. No modifications, no changes. Watch your breath as it is in this moment. Just be with your breath. Just be with your breath this moment. If you get distracted, come back to your natural breath. This is the basic exercise. We'll do it for a minute. I'll guide you. After that, I want you to just pick up, since we have a short time, I want you to pick up with some memory from the past. It can be anything. It can be good, bad, ugly, whatever pops up, pick one of it. Now, the most important thing is, normally when a memory comes, we get entangled into the memory. We live that memory field. Instead, the memory comes, I want you to be in the natural breath. Natural breath is something that flows within you, and it is also around you. It's a field, actually. Natural breath is a field. I want you to be in your natural breath. Memory is a portal that is inside your mind. The event is over in the past. It exists as a portal inside the mind. I don't know where exactly, but I know it's a portal in the mind for sure. So it is actually within you only. So that memory that comes, don't get entangled, be in the natural breath. Allow the natural breath to touch that, or rather cast its influence on the memory field. This is all the practices. You can do it one memory or two memories, whatever comes. Essential thing is this, don't get entangled, be with your natural breath and allow it to just cast its influence on the memory field. Is that clear? We are in way doing the practice that she said right at the beginning. Past, present, future. Able to see it totally means able to see it neutrally. Natural breath gives you the neutral voice. So we are taking a bit of that into practice. Any questions, or I'll guide you? Okay. So if there's a doubt, you can put it on chat or Q&A anytime. Close your eyes. Bring your attention to your body. Watch your natural breath as it is in this moment. The natural breath has a rhythm. It's not the mental rhythm of good, bad, ugly. It has its own rhythm. Just watch your natural breath as it is this moment. Now, connect to your memory field and let any memory pop up. Whatever pops up, primarily be connected to watching your natural breath, but be aware of the memory, not Don't get entangled. Be in your natural breath. Allow your natural breath that to touch the memory field or cast its influence on that memory. And allow a second memory to pop up. Take whatever it is. Just be aware of the memory, but be identified with your natural breath. Be with your natural breath till you get a sense that it touches the memory or casts its imprint on the memory. Now just let go, and for 30 seconds, just be with your natural breath. Okay, you can kindly open your eyes. What was anybody wants to share your experience or ask a question? Feel free.
There's no question here. I thought There is question here. No, no question.
Yes, okay, no question, okay. Any difficulty? Anybody wants to ask also, feel free.
Papi?
That's okay, if there is there, yeah.
Yeah, Bhavna wants to talk.
Bhavna, would you like to talk, please? Would you let Bhavna in?
Yes, Miss Bhavna, I have allowed you to talk.
Yes. Yes, Bhavna. Hi, Bhavna.
Aji, namaste.
Namaste. Yes.
Jai Ma.
You want to share something?
Arul Devji, I want to know that Mataji has been said that uh, our integrated integrated being should be involved in our educational process.
Correct.
Yeah. So how one teacher, as a teacher, I could attach my student as an integrated personality.
For that, you have to understand the parts of being as a basic thing. A human being is made of the mind. That too, there are different parts of the mind: the emotions, energy, senses, body, and something deeper. Now, what we are exploring is something deeper. The basic understanding of the parts of being, and this is deeper: part of light, part of force, part of harmony, and there is one more also. These are deeper. So a combination of this is where you will get that integrated development or integrated participation. So we have to invest the time on that.
Oh, well, invest our all energy in our students, student existence. यानी अंदर उनके अंदर जाके हमें ताकना चाहिए वो क्या उनकी क्या मूवमेंट चल रही है उनके लिए मैं क्या कर सकती हूँ और उनके आसपास जैसे माँ जीती है बालक अपने बच्चे के आसपास ऐसे ही जीना चाहिए.
Yeah, we have to have that much of understanding of really what's going on the inner. But that requires a lot of sadhana and practice. See, the moment we want to do this work, individual sadhana and practice is important.
Well, yeah, I can understand. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Arulji, I think Sonal ma'am has few questions.
Yeah, I'll answer that.
So I will allow her to talk.
I can answer this question also. Okay. You allow her to talk, let her in. Yeah. In the meanwhile, I'll start responding to this. This concentration is a very interesting thing. Okay. I have a poor concentration right from my school. So which means I cannot concentrate for a long period of time. 20 minutes, 25 minutes is the max I can concentrate. But that same problem I converted as my strength. I was an extraordinary student in school. Between me and the second, always there will be a huge amount of marks difference because I was really good. The way I cracked the problem was, I did not take it as a limitation. I will concentrate for 20-25 minutes and then I'll play. I used to play with these round wooden balls, like what you find on the billiard tables. I had a bunch of them on my room floor. 20-25 minutes I'll read, 5-10 minutes I'll play. Then I'll read, I'll play. This gave me a capacity of going deeper into the content of whatever I was doing in a far superior manner. Number one. Even today I'm like this. I only concentrate for a short period of time. Then I take a break, I walk, I do something. But I hold it across time. This is number one. Number two. We have all been trained generally on exclusive concentration. Put your attention on one thing. But if you carefully observe the path of integral yoga or many other paths, we need inclusive concentration. So you are keeping your awareness here within and you're also keeping your awareness on, let's say, the divine. You are aware of your body, you are aware of the divine. You are aware of your body or whatever is going on in an essence. It is a dual concentration. So inclusive concentration is superior. It gives you a certain capacity of being in the moment. So we can practice that. Now, do not worry about thoughts coming in. The method is very simple. You're watching the natural breath, thought comes, you're distracted. No problem. You've recognized you've got distracted, come back to the natural breath. Okay, you've got distracted. Come back to the natural breath. Even I was doing the practice along with you all. I was distracted a couple of times. I quickly came back. If I don't worry about the distraction, by itself, this fellow will, ease out. If I start getting worried about my distraction, the thought is getting your energy, so it becomes even more stronger. This is all it is actually. Where you put your awareness, it becomes stronger. So why are we putting our attention on our limitation? Path is from light to light. Path is non-suffering. So, okay, 1,000 times you got distracted. Fantastic. Just come back and watch your natural breath. By itself, that concentration will increase. It's simple. Okay, any other points, Sonal, on this?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right. Now we'll do a second exercise on this. We'll do a second exercise. Then I'll share a... Yeah, please.
There is one...
Yeah, thank you so much. How do I pronounce that? Arul. Okay, I got a sensation of quietness, beautiful. What that would mean is quietness is the state of the natural breath. Now it would touch your memory field if you have held it together, which means the memory field, instead of holding some other current or frequency, can slowly get the quality of the quietness. Then you've got a transformation. Because normally for all of us, the memory field is the background. We are coming from that. So if we are able to cast that quietness itself on the memory field, it's something really, really good. What I taught you right now, you could do it for 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You don't have to sit and do. When you're going to the restroom, please do. When you're taking a walk, please do. When you're waiting for the class to begin, you have 1 minute free, do. When you're lying down in the bed, sleep is not coming, do. By that little practice, you will get this as a way of living. Okay. So second practice now. I want to do a practice. Take a short quote. Try and do a practice if at all there is time. If not, that is also okay. Okay. So this practice is a little bit more subtler. If there's any question, please ask me. Same thing, you want to do it from your essence. So you connect to your essence, any quality that you like. Now, if any of you have a direct connection, or even you aspire for a connection with your divine or master, then you take that as the essence. Okay, so you can either take a essence, which is a purpose, which is a quality that you really resonate to, or you can take your own divine masters as the essence. This practice is, you can also do the natural breath, but in this practice, you connect to the essence, you connect to the essence, you connect to the essence in a living moment. You will get distracted. Again, connect to the essence. You will get distracted. Again, connect to the essence. Same thing. You pull something from the memory field. Now, the memory field will have a state. Okay. Instead of moving into that state, what you will do is that instead of moving into that state, so instead of moving to the state of the memory, which will have some other state, the memory is there, but you anchor yourself totally in the essence or the divine presence. Essence or divine presence is you're totally connecting. Till this essence is seeded into the memory. Till this essence touches the memory. This is the practice. I repeat. Instead of the natural breath, now you will do connection to essence. In a very living way, you will connect to the essence, the quality of, for example, Kiran will connect to the quality of love. How? Just connect to the quality of love. Just connect to the quality of compassion. You resonate to beauty, connect to beauty. You resonate to Shri Aurobindo, connect to Shri Aurobindo. You resonate to Krishna, connect to Krishna. Directly connect to Krishna. Hold that quality inside. You get distracted, come back. First poise. Then you take a memory field. The memory field will have a state. This essence will have a state. You want to not get entangled into that. You want to be in this essence, so that this casts its touch on that particular memory. Is it clear? Any doubts? Okay, we'll try. I'll lead you through it. Kindly close your eyes and connect to your essence. Just connect and be with your essence for a minute. If you get distracted, just come back to your essence. Now, take a memory, take some memory, allow any memory to pop. Hold the awareness on the memory, but stay connected to your essence. Be connected to your essence till the quality of essence becomes present in the memory field. So some touch, at least the beginning is there. You don't do anything. You are connected to the essence and you're also aware of that particular memory. Wait till the essence casts its touch on the memory. can just take another memory, anything that pops up, but stay connected to your essence. Till the essence touches the memory. And then you can slowly let go and open your eyes. Take your time. Okay, any questions, any sharings, any difficulties on this practice?
So here is essence becomes the part of the memory.
It will become a part of the memory, yes. The essence will become the reference point, not the memory.
Huh.
So if we can do like this with many of the memories or the field itself, is when we can truly start coming from the essence as a start point. Otherwise, consciously or unconsciously, we're always coming from the past.
Right.
So we can never be in the state of harmony because we are always in the running of the past. So this is why these two practices, which anyway I was doing before, nicely sits in this exploration of harmony.
Yes, it goes. Yes.
Yeah. Any other questions or sharing? Anybody? Any difficulty? Okay. All right. So I go to the last short quote. It's a very interesting quote. It gives the two poises. Again, this is from the agenda. The Lord is peaceful resignation, but the Lord is also the struggle and the victory. He is the joyous acceptance of all that is, but also the constant effort towards a more total and perfect harmony. Perpetual movement is absolute immobility. Now, we'll read this also and then we'll explain. In other words, the change that arises from a refusal to accept the world as it is has no force, no power. What is needed is an acceptance, not only total, but comprehensive, joyous, to find supreme joy in things in order to have, in order to make it possible for things to change. It's very, very subtle and very interesting. It ties up with the first exploration. Now, let's start summarizing. We're almost at the end, and then I'll put this quote again in perspective. What is harmony? What is the path of light? Light to light. Light is one aspect of the divine. It comes into us in the form of intuitions and it gives us clarity. So wherever there is clarity, we sit on it. Where there is no clarity, we don't lose our clarity. We move from light to light by concentration and aspiration, light to light. Force. Force is will. We learn to hold and connect to the will above, will in the cave of the heart, will in the navel. We allow this link to happen. We bring our will when we are thrown on things, which are not so wholesome. We hold a steady will, a steady aspiration, and allow it to have this connect with something larger. Now, every essence of yours will have a light, will have a will. It itself will have a light, it will have a will. The clarity of the essence. So, for example, you want to do something in the workplace. You want to bring, like Bhavna was talking about something. She was really talking about an aspiration. It has a light and it has a will. So that essence itself will have light and a will connect to it. Moments when you feel weak, can I really do it? This whole thing is so messed up. Can we do it? Connect to the light and the will of the essence. But as Kiran said, nothing is possible without harmony. Nothing is possible without harmony. What are the clues for harmony? Open to the totality of everything, your own past, present, and future, everything that is present, but with the height, which means that, the practice of natural breath gives neutrality. The practice of above the head, cave of the heart, sole of the feet that we did, gives that sense of, heightened vastness, wideness kind of a thing. Slowly it'll give you that. Connect to that. But you have to hold everything. Now, the harmony also has the joy and delight, very clearly shown. So the practice which I am not doing, which you can do on your own, is there is harmony and delight and joy above your mind, in the cave of the heart, everywhere, and sole of the feet. Bow down to it so that you slowly get in connection with that. So we want to come into a connection with the harmony, joy and delight. For that is where we take the resonant essence, because resonant essence is what gives you the maximum joy, whether others appreciate or not. The fact that you are connected to that core quality, you will feel at peace. You will feel a certain inner joy. And even in your work, there is a certain essence that you resonate. When you do the work with connection to the essence, it will come out well. Same is true for cooking. When you're completely connected to the cooking, the food will have a higher vibration. But when you're not, when you're doing it mechanically, you're not connected to the essence of the food and the cooking. So it will just be a transactional food. Same way we engage. When we engage like this with our work and with others, when you're interacting with others, don't over-focus on their limitations. If you over-focus on their limitations, that field gets heightened. We have to acknowledge limitations, but connect to their essence. The way you are connecting to your essence, you connect to their essence. Now you will get a field of harmonious up and down in the beginning, and then it will stabilize. Okay, now, a subtle clue that Mother is offering. The world is messed. Relationships have difficulties. Now, joyfully accept it is the first step she's saying. So the part of harmony or anything that she's describing here is the Lord is peaceful resignation. I accept everything just the way as it is. Oh, there is a mess? Okay, I accept it as it is. With joy. With a comprehensive, which means the totality of the plus and a minus, I accept it. And now I aspire. These both go together very well. It is not one without the other. It is that poise of complete acceptance and that complete aspiration, which is the aspect of the force and the light. So if you see, this quote puts it all together. There is a total acceptance, harmonious acceptance, and yet there is this total constant effort. Effort means will, Agni, and that effort has the light coming in. So the light and force come in together towards a greater harmony, but the prerequisite is a total and a complete acceptance of everything what it is the path that is suggested. This is what I've understood so far, and I'm sharing with you. Any questions, anything you want to ask or share? So I'll close it by reading this again. The Lord is peaceful resignation, but the Lord is also the struggle and the victory. He is the joyous acceptance of all that is, but also the constant effort towards a more total and perfect harmony. Perpetual movement is absolute immobility. That's why I like harmony to look at it as a flow. In other words, the change that arises from a refusal to accept the world as it is has no force, no power. What is needed is an acceptance, not only total, but comprehensive, joyous, to find the supreme joy in things in order to make it possible for things to change. So, thank you so much.
Before, there is some message.
Yeah, I will take that question. Is it akin to a state of sympathetic vibration? One aspect of it. We should be open to all vibrations. Sympathetic is coming from the space of the heart. All right. It's so you take the harmony as not only born from the heart as delight. Okay. Now, in the aspect of delight, it is both sympathetic and goes beyond that also. Thank you so much. Yes. Yes. We thank Arul for sharing and enlightening us and having a wonderful session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sri Arul Devji, for a wonderful session and for awakening us and making us an acute awareness about harmony, that is the path of flow and a degree of closeness. So I think we need real good time to think and understand about the today's session, and then maybe we have questions.
So thank you so much. I should thank Kiran because she really helped me. She asked me, will you do this? Then I said, can I do it on these three topics? Because this is what I've been spending this entire year around this. So this has really helped me. And I really thank Kiran and all of you all to give me this opportunity so that it became a quicker and a faster search and things have fallen in place for me. So thank you so much.
Arulji, it's not, we are, in the path of that journey where we are exploring. It is our privilege that, you give us time. Papri ma'am, it is over to you, please.
So, thank you, Sri Arul Devji. And we hope to meet you in person in our campus.
Soon, yeah.
And thank you for an enlightening and wonderful session and making us understand about harmony, the path of harmony.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. See you. Yeah.